Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. Let's talk some most used cheek products. I have 5 in each category here: bronzers, blush, highlight. Some of these are pretty new to my collection, and I think I'm reaching for them because they are new, they are intriguing, and I'm like, ooh, cool. And then there are some that I just can't stop reaching for. I'm forever reaching for, and they're just so good. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about these today. Here's where I want to know: what are your most used cheek products, especially in the summertime? I have a mixture here of powder, cream, and liquids, so it's kind of like running the gamut. But let's start with bronzer. One of the ones that I've had the longest is this. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. Mine on the inside is like, there's product everywhere. I love this. I end up taking a large BK 105. Look how big this is. This is huge. So I just stamp it in here, pick up some of the product, and then I feel like I need a little bit more. And then I just pounce it on. But do you see how light it is? And when I continue to go over it, if I don't pick up too much with the brush, it does help to kind of bring color and life to my face, because when I'm using foundation, I like completely blank myself out. And a little bit of color like this is great. The one thing that I noticed with this product, it doesn't actually set down unless you put powder over it. And I like doing that, but I also like using a big brush like this because it kind of diffuses it out. So if I'm going for a certain area, it's like, wait, where does it end and where does the non-bronzed area begin? That's what's great about something, because it's really dense and I'm picking up such a light layer of it. And as I'm stamping it on, it goes really fast. So a large brush like this could be helpful for cream products. Just putting that out there. Here's one that I picked up earlier this spring and I'm so impressed with. It's been a long time since I've been a fan of the Glossier Cloud Paints, and their new bronzer or contour collection is really good. This is the lightest shade in sale, and this is just the right shade for me. It's not too much, it's just enough. It blends with hardly any effort, but if you're looking like swatch, there you go. But you see, like, on the edges, how nicely it blends out. What I like about both of these is that both of these cream products, is this a cream or a liquid? I'm putting it in the cream category, but I really feel like these both work with very little effort. So I'll put a little blob on the back of my hand. I'll take a brush, a synthetic brush, work it through the bristles and then stamp it on. Same way with the other one. I don't always use like my big, giant, enormous brush. Sometimes I'll use a brush that's more like this size, but I'll definitely work the products into the bristles on the back of my hand or on my little metallic palette. It's got some fingerprints on it, but I got it on Amazon. But I'll work it in and then I can build it where I want. And if I want more control, I'll still use something that's really fluffy. This one, by the way, is the BK 107, but you can use just about anything that you have that's synthetic. And I feel like this doesn't build too much pigment too quickly. These are some of my favorite bronzers right now. I can't stop reaching for these guys. Okay, you knew little Miss RMS Beach Walk Betty was gonna be in here, right? This luminous bronzer is stunning. This is the lightest shade in their new, and what is it called? Their Redimension Hydra Bronzer. This has just a little bit of a glow to it, and it's not a glow in a way that looks like you're wearing a highlight. It just looks like skin. It's not really highlighty, but it's not flat matte, and I really, really like that. I take usually, sometimes I'll use my 22 brush from Rougher, or I'll grab a number 5 brush, and I haven't been using either of these recently, but I just washed my brushes a couple days ago, and I'll use something small like this or like my big ginormous one here. I like this product best with a natural hair brush. I don't know why that is. I have tried it with some of the synthetic brushes from BK, but I just like the placement and the blend better, because this is not really a baked formula, although it looks like it's baked. This is actually, I think Rosemary Swift said this was like a liquid cream that they put in the pan, they shape it and it dries. So it's not baked, but it is kind of like a slurry formula. So I like this best with a natural hair brush, but I'm sure you could use whatever you have. This has been one that I love so much, and I just keep reaching for it. And I'm surprised that the pan imprint is almost completely gone, especially where it used to say RMS is gone, and we're definitely losing definition in the rest of the pan. I haven't even had this one that long, 2.5 months. I can't stop. It's so good, so good. And it makes me reach for other RMS products. I was going to put an RMS blush in here, but my favorite one is the one that my oldest took on vacation. So I don't even have it right now. Another new bronzer. Oh my goodness. This All Hours, what is it called? This is the All Hours Hyper Bronzer. This is the shade 01. Again, another one that I'm surprised I've lost a lot of pan definition in, like right in through here, because I have been going to town on this. It looks very, very light. It's right here. The reason that I like this is that I can never put on too much. Now, for someone who's fair, who wears really light shades, I wear shade number 1 almost in all of Charlotte Tilbury's foundations and concealers. I wear 1.5 in the new one. I wear the lightest neutral shade in the Natasha Denona powder foundation as well as concealer. I wear a lot of really light shades, and there are still brands at the drugstore that don't have a large enough shade range, so I can't find something. So I'm pretty fair. I don't know that always comes across. I burn in like 10 minutes if I'm not wearing SPF and I'm in direct sunlight. So I have to be really careful. So a bronzer like this that for some people may be a setting powder is exactly what I want. And I love putting this on with this enormous 103 brush from BK. Picks it up and I can slather it on, and all of a sudden I have some warmth and some color to my face, but it's never orange or even yellow, because there are some. I had one of the Charlotte Tilbury ones that made me look like I had malaria. It was not good. But this is a fantastic formula. It doesn't catch, it doesn't skip, it wears beautifully. And I don't ever feel like I'm building up too much, and I can go to town with this. I love this. All right, last bronzer, another new one. And I feel like this right here is very similar to Little Miss YSL. All right, this is the new one. This is the Tanti Doll Ultra Wear Bronzer from Lancome. I don't think it's available in the US yet, but I'm hoping it comes later this summer. What I love about this is the same thing that I love about the YSL one, and I have not yet swatched them side by side, so let's do that. Okay, here's the Lancome one. Here's the one from YSL. I feel like this one is just a slightly more neutral or slightly cooler, and this one has a little bit more warmth, but they both do the same thing. And what they do that I love is that when I put these on, I don't feel like I can over apply. And that's huge for me. The other thing is they're both so finely milled. They feel like a silk powder. They feel like the smoothest thing going on. I really love the Gucci bronzer, but the Gucci bronzer, I have to still make sure I don't put on too much. If you are fair and you want something that is not gonna look too heavy, these formulations are great. This one I picked up at Selfridges and it shipped from the UK. This one I got at Sephora here. They're both beautiful. Upside down. They're both beautiful though, and I feel like they're very similar. I don't know that you would need both, but the reason that I'm in love with both of these is because of what they do. All right, let's talk blush. The one that I've had the longest, that I love the most, I've had for like 2.5 years now, is this one here. This is the M Cosmetics Heaven Glow Blush in Baroque. Oh, she's so pretty. So this is the lightest shade. It's a neutral shade. It's got a little bit of glow to it. You can see the radiance in this, and you see how it's very much an understated blush. For someone like me with fair skin, I have to be careful, because if I were to wear the orange shade called Faded Clementine, it would not work for me. So I like blushes that are very desaturated, and that's exactly what this gives. I do have the other neutral blush from this lineup. It's called Rococo. It's a little bit deeper, but this is the one that I reach for the most, and I love because it does have that subtle radiance to it. It's not too much. It doesn't look it looks like a glowy blush. It doesn't end up looking highlighty, but if I use just that, because of its neutral tone, I can use it all over the cheek and skip, bronzer and highlight, and I got a nice little to the cheeks. It's beautiful. It's perfect for summer for that reason, but I like it all year round. Another one from M, I feel like M does blushes beautifully, is this one right here. This is the Pillow Plush Blush, and there's only 2 shades of this, but you see how mine is all messy and dirty, and I clean it up at least once a week, where I'll go around and I'll, clean up all of the product that's outside of the pan. This is the shade Peanut. I love this. This is interesting because it's kind of like a putty formula. You see how I can manipulate it here? My favorite thing to do with this is either with my finger. This has a little bit more peach to it. It's stunning on the cheeks. The other thing I like to do is I'll take a brush like this. This is my BK 106. I'll load the brush up, and this is how I get product all over the container. And then I'll just stamp it where I want it. And it ends up diffusing it, and I like it more like this. And the nice thing about this is you can continue to diffuse this until you get where you want with it, but then it kind of, you see how nice it is? It kind of does set down and it doesn't really go anywhere. I find, because I have normal skin on my cheeks, this lasts really well on me. I don't know that I would recommend this for my mom who has more oily skin, but since I'm combo, my areas that are oily are in the T-zone. This is great for the cheeks for me. I like that it's a warm leaning blush without being too warm. Another one that's desaturated and just stunning. This one's pretty new. I fell in love with this. I did an about face video, full face using about face. I'll link that for you in the description bar down below. But this is their Cheek Freak Cream Blush. This is a cream to powder formula, and this is the shade Champagne Room. I use an enormous blush brush with this. It's probably not even like a blush brush, but this really beautiful, vivid, kind of pinky, it's like a warm pink shade. It is so beautiful on the cheeks when it's diffused out. It's like just the right amount. Just see, it's just the right amount, but it has a little bit more of a pop to it than these guys that are a little bit more desaturated. You can certainly build this up. So if you have fair skin like me, you can blend it out. But if you need it to be there, I mean, you can get there with this. This formula is really beautiful. I find it works really, really well on me. I went through and I was looking at the rest of the colors, and I like that there are so many interesting colors, but I don't know that there's another shade that I would use as much as this one. And this one is amazingly versatile for my collection. So I'm gonna hang on to this one, but I definitely recommend this formula if there's a shade you like. This is the new reformulation, the talc-free formula of the Nars blushes. And this shade right here has been everything for me. I love this so much. This one's called Behave. And it is a really pretty, again, a desaturated shade where it doesn't look like it's too much. You can certainly build it. I mean, it's very possible. It does better with a brush, but that's what I'm looking for, because there have been so many times that I've over blushed and I look like I stepped right out of 1986. And although I love the 80s blush look, sometimes it's not an everyday sort of look. So these desaturated shades, I got this one and I got the one in Forbidden, but I can't stop using Behave. I'm like, what shade do I want? I want this. And it's those desaturated shades. These guys are so perfect for me. Here's another one that's desaturated that is beautiful, and it's the new shade from Patrick Ta. This one's called Not Too Much. So this is the one I'm wearing today. So I put the powder down first. Powder is right here. Boy, these are very similar. No wonder I like them. But it's this cream shade that makes all the difference, because it is darker than this shade and it has a little bit more rose to it, where this tends to lean just a little bit more peach. And it's the rose in this that really kind of lights up the cheek in a way, and it also brings back that look. I put the powder down first, cream on the top, the way that Patrick, you know, the Patrick Ta method, if you will, and it really brings the look of life back to my face, and it hydrates the cheek and it looks like real skin. I love that. I use my fingers. You can use a synthetic brush. You could use a damp beauty sponge, like however you want to do it. It works. It's beautiful, but just be gentle as you're going up so you're not disturbing anything else. But those have been the blushes that I just can't stop reaching for recently. It's these 5 and they're just perfection. All I have left are highlights. The one that I've had the longest and that I've actually repurchased is the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow. This is the shade Crystal Nebula. My goodness. I remember when I first got this. This was probably, what, 3 years ago? It came out like late spring, early summer, 3 years ago. And when I got this, I had so many people, every time I would wear it, what are you wearing? Where did you get it? It's stunning. What I like about this, I do have the shade Pink Moon. I do also have the shade Cosmic Rose. They're all lovely, but this is my preferred shade. The reason that I like this one is because it has a little bit of a warmth to it, where Pink Moon and Rose Glow or Cosmic Rose tend to be a little bit more on the pink side. I like this shade so much more. It is a little dark, but the thing that I love about these, it looks like glassy skin. That's what I love about it. The other thing I really like is that although there is a shine to it, there is not a glitter to it. That's the one thing that you're getting here. You're getting such an elegant formula. It's totally worth the price. I know that these are more expensive than some of the other products that are out there, but when you're dealing with mature skin, when you're dealing with crow's feet and texture, I don't want something that's gonna make me look older. I don't want something that's just going to draw attention to that. Now, a highlight always draws attention to the area, but there are some formulas that are powdery that can dry my skin out. On top of all the crow's feet, it just is an unattractive situation. I don't have the problem with Elisa Eldridge doing that. It is a little bit hydrating. There is a little bit of skincare in there, but mostly it's the shade and the fact that there is no glitter. That's what I'm looking for. Here's a new favorite of mine. This is one that it's under $50. I think it's $48. This is from Chanel. This is their Balm Essential, and this is the shade, I think, Sculpting. All right. It's kind of hard to see. It just looks like kind of like a greasy lotion, but when you put this on the skin and you rub it in, I'm not even like, I normally just like pick it up and tap it on the skin like this. It brings the loveliest glow. This is not what I'm wearing today. Do you see how the skin looks kind of wet and glowy, but not glittery? That's what I'm loving right now. I need more of that and less of the sparkle, razzle, dazzle, you know, shimmery, because it can, on my skin, the older I get, it looks less attractive. But if you still like a highlight, like I do, this one's beautiful. This one's gorgeous. They're both mature skin friendly. Another one, the one that I'm wearing today that I'm absolutely obsessed with, is the Hypershine Kit from KJH brand, which is Katie Jane Hughes. She's a pro makeup artist. This is her brand. This is the only product she has out now. I have the light pink shade. This comes in 3 other shades. This is the rose shade. She has bronze, a gold, and I forget what the other shade is, but there are 4 total shades. So this is the lightest one. And this here is kind of like a hard sort of cream. And when I say hard, I mean, it doesn't do the same squishy thing or melt as quickly as like the Patrick Ta. So I start with a drop of this clear serum, which by the way, you can use as lip gloss, as eye gloss. You can mix it with anything else. And then you mix in some of this here and you have this beautiful glowy, dewy situation. And now I'm like, waste not, want not. So let me just, you know, add another little layer here. And what's great is, although I do already have my face set with powder, my full face set with powder, do you see how this did not mess it up? That's what I want to see. I want to see it not picking up my foundation. I want to see it not disturbing my blush or my bronzer, but still giving me this beautiful glow. And this is one of those products, okay, if you get the set, it's expensive, because when I bought it in September, it was $75. You do get a brush that goes with it. There's a brush around here somewhere. I don't really use it, but these 2 things here, I can't stop. These are the things that I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work for me. I live for these things. And I also like that it's not sticky. So if my hair is not pulled back like it is today and it's a little bit windy, I'm not constantly getting stuff stuck to the face. It does feel dewy, like it's hydrated, but it's not like goopy and sticky. This is not like pulling hair out of your lip gloss situation, even though you've got a cream and kind of like a clear, you know, kind of vinyl shine sort of situation. And you can amp up the clear gloss, or you can amp up the cream, the metallic cream, and it's just beautiful. All right, RMS, love this. This is the only shade, and mine is kind of like popping out because I just put my finger in the back. These are, by the way, did you know that these are refillable? I love that about these. All of the Redimension Hydra Blushes as well as the bronzers, and this is the only shade of highlight. This is the Redimension Hydra Dew Luminizer. This is called Prosecco Fizz, and it's a absolutely stunning product. I just realized I still have product in my hand here. Hold please. It's right here. It is so beautiful. What I love about this is that there is no glitter in this either. I think that's the thing that's tying all of these together, is that there's not that glittery sort of flaky, dry look. And it does have the same sort of hydrating powder ingredients that you find in their Hydra Powder, because I got their new Hydra Powder. I'm wearing it today. Love. I love the bronzer, the blush, this highlight. They're all beautiful formulas, and they never make my skin look dry and powdery, and that's what I want. And the fact that there is, you know, a glow to this, but it looks more like a cream glow and less like a powder glow, that's a little bit of a magic trick in my book. All right, last one is this one from Patrick Ta. This one's brand new. I'm using it a lot right now because I'm still testing it out, but I'm really loving the balm more than the powder. The powder's not bad. So the powder tends to look a little bit more like the Fenty How Many Carats. This is the shade My Love. This one does have like some glittery sparkle to it, but that can be completely mitigated by putting on this balm over the top. This feels very much like the Chanel balm. It feels very much like some other ones that I have, like the one from Merit, the Merit their Glow Balm. Do you see how it's not quite as powdery or dry? This makes all the difference. The one thing I will tell you, I made the mistake of putting the cream down first, or the balm down first, and then the powder on top. It turned it into instant lizard skin. It was not good. It looked so textured and dry and gross. Powder first, then the balm on top, and you can just tap that on and it's stunning. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoy this. I'm sure some of these were real predictable. Ones that I'm like always reaching for, new ones that I'm still testing. But I feel like I haven't picked, even though I've been picking up a lot of new things, they're really beautiful. Really have been loving this. I can't stop using, you know, this little Chanel highlight or the RMS bronzer. And me and this Nars Blush, as well as the one from About Face. So there's a wide range of things here. I would love to know, are you, I wear all three, bronzer, blush, highlight, or do you like, I wear one or the other, or maybe only two? What are your favorites? What are the ones that you are perpetually reaching for? Or are you looking to add something new to your collection? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.